What if I told you that the anxiety and stress you feel every single day are actually the exact same problems that tormented people 2,000 years ago? Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, developed 14 practical principles to master emotional balance even while facing wars, betrayals, and unimaginable pressures. These same foundations he used to govern an empire can completely transform how you handle your emotions in just a few weeks of practice. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and comment where in the world you're watching from, because now I'm going to tell you everything. Have you ever wondered why your feelings can sometimes feel so strong that you do not know what to do? Many people in the world feel this way every day. No matter where you were born or what job you have, there will always be moments when you feel stress, sadness, anger, fear, or worry. These emotions can be very heavy. For some people, these feelings make simple things, like talking to a friend or doing work, feel very hard. When these feelings become too strong, it is easy to feel alone or lost. If you have ever felt this way, you should know you are not the only one. In fact, every person, young or old, rich or poor, strong or weak, knows what it is like to feel big emotions. This is part of being human. No one can escape these feelings, no matter how powerful or successful they become. Wanting peace and calm is something that everyone hopes for. Sometimes people think they should not feel certain things. They are afraid to talk about what is really inside them. But feeling strong emotions does not mean you are weak or strange. It means you're alive. Stress and worry can make days feel impossible. At times, anger can hurt friendships or make you say something you wish you had not said. Sadness can make it hard to enjoy things you once loved. Fear can keep people from taking steps and trying new things. Some days, these feelings pile up, one after another, and the world becomes hard to face. Many people lie awake at night, thinking about mistakes or about things they cannot change. Others feel as if their minds are full of noise all the time. It is easy in these moments to feel small, powerless, or hopeless. But it is important to remember that these are not new problems. People have felt this way for many centuries. Even in times long ago, people faced strong emotions that felt too big to control. All around the world, in every culture and every age, people have wanted the same things: to feel calm inside, to handle fears and worries, and to find happiness that lasts more than just a few moments. If you have ever asked yourself, "Why do I feel this way?" or "Will I ever feel better?" know that people have asked those same questions for as long as there have been people. Learning to understand and handle your own emotions is something every human needs. It is just as important as food, water, and sleep. If you do not understand your feelings, they can control you. When you know what you are feeling and why, you can begin to choose how to react. This is not always easy, but it is possible. Sometimes people need help to learn these things, and that is normal too. No one expects you to do it all alone. Some people try to ignore their feelings. They push away sadness or pretend not to be angry. Others hide their worry or fear from friends and family. They think that if they do not think about these feelings, they will go away. But avoiding your feelings only makes them stronger over time. The more you push them down, the more they can control your mind and body. It can become hard to sleep or difficult to enjoy even small things. Sometimes people can even get sick because of the stress inside them. It is also common for people to feel ashamed of their feelings. They look at others and think, "Everyone else is happy. Why am I not happy?" But what you see on the outside is only a small part of the story. Every person you meet faces their own troubles, even if they do not talk about them. You do not have to hide your feelings. You do not have to feel ashamed. Everyone has days when they feel sad, scared, angry, or nervous. There is strength in understanding emotions. When you learn to listen to your feelings, you can find out what they are trying to tell you. Sometimes, sadness is a sign that you need something in your life to change. Maybe anger is warning you that something is not fair or just. Worry might be telling you that you care a lot about something important. But feelings do not have to control your life. You can learn to work with your emotions instead of always fighting against them. Feeling lost or alone is something that even the most famous people in history have felt. Long ago, in a big city called Rome, there lived a man named Marcus Aurelius. He was an emperor, which meant he was one of the most powerful people in the world at that time. People came to him for answers, and he made many important decisions. He had a strong army and lived in a huge palace. But even with all this power, Marcus Aurelius still had days when his feelings seemed too much. He wrote about his worries, stress, and sadness in notebooks. Sometimes he felt angry or disappointed. Even as emperor, he could not escape these feelings. Every morning when he woke up, he had problems to solve and people to help. The world around him was often full of noise and trouble. Like everyone else, he wanted to feel calm and balanced, but it was not easy. Marcus Aurelius did not have modern tools, such as tablets, computers, or online guides. He lived more than 1,900 years ago. At that time, life was in some ways much harder than it is now. People did not have electricity or fast ways to travel. When things went wrong, there were not always easy answers. Even so, Marcus looked for ways to keep his mind clear and peaceful. He began to search for answers in the words and thoughts of wise people. These wise people studied philosophy, which is a way of thinking and understanding life. Philosophy tries to answer questions like, what is most important? And how should I live? Marcus Aurelius found comfort and help in ideas that later became known as Stoicism. The people who started Stoicism believed that every person has power over only a few things. They said that you should not waste your time and energy trying to control things that are not in your hands. Instead, you should focus on what you can change, your own thoughts, your own actions, your own choices. Stoicism taught people that even when bad things happen, you can decide how to react. You do not have to let outside events decide your feelings. Marcus Aurelius liked this way of thinking very much. He used Stoic ideas to guide his actions each day. When he felt stress or fear, he read or wrote about these principles. He made lists of ideas that helped him. They helped him see that even if he could not change the world, he could change how he saw it. Through his study, Marcus Aurelius learned some simple rules that anyone could follow. A big part of his rules was to accept what you cannot change. The weather, what other people say, and many events in the world are not something you can decide. If you try to change these things, you will only feel tired and frustrated. But if you let go of things you cannot control, you will find more calm inside. You can use your time and energy on things that do matter. Another idea he learned is that you are always in charge of your own mind and your own choices. Even if something unfair or sad happens, you can decide how to react. You can choose to answer with patience. You can wait before talking or acting. You can stop and think before making a choice. Taking responsibility for your actions makes you stronger and helps you grow. Marcus Aurelius also saw that it was important to notice his own thoughts. Sometimes the mind can make a problem seem much bigger than it is. Fear and worry can become worse in your head than they are in real life. If you learn to watch your thoughts and ask, is this really true? You can feel lighter and less worried. Marcus wrote down his thoughts to see more clearly. This helped him separate real problems from problems he made up in his mind. He also learned that every hard moment has something to teach. Instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? He looked for a lesson in each situation. Maybe he could become stronger or more patient by going through difficulties. When you see hard times as a way to grow, you feel less trapped and more hopeful. Another thing Marcus Aurelius practiced was waiting before reacting. When you pause and take a breath, even for just a moment, You give yourself the chance to answer wisely. You stop yourself from saying or doing something you might regret. This kind of patience brings more peace and fewer problems later. Feeling thankful for small things is another idea that helped Marcus find more happiness. He remembered the good things in his life, even when times were dark or scary. Gratitude helped him balance his mind and remember that not everything was bad. Even on a hard day, there can be something to feel thankful for. Marcus Aurelius understood that life is not always about being happy or comfortable. There will always be some pain, sadness, or loss. Trying to run from these feelings only makes them stronger. Accepting that life has ups and downs helps you deal with hard times when they come. Knowing you are not alone in your feelings makes them easier to bear. He also believed in treating others with kindness. If someone made a mistake or hurt his feelings, he tried to understand instead of becoming angry. Letting go of blame and being patient with others helped him feel calmer too. When you help others, you often help yourself. These ideas are not just for emperors or famous people. Anyone can practice them in daily life. Over time, you may notice that you feel stronger inside, less worried by small problems, and more able to make healthy choices. Calm and balance grow each time you use these principles. The world today is very different from the world of Marcus Aurelius. There is more information, life feels very busy, and many people have little time for quiet moments. But the need to handle emotions and find calm is the same. You do not need to know everything about philosophy. You do not need to be perfect. Even a small step each day can make a big difference. Sometimes people write their thoughts in a notebook, just as Marcus did. Other people use meditation or quiet time before bed. Some simply remember these ideas when life feels hard. The most important thing is to begin. You may not see a big change right away, but with practice, you will see that peace grows inside. Remember, every person wants to feel calm and handle their emotions well. No one has all the answers, but anyone can learn. It does not matter where you are from, what language you speak, or how old you are. These ideas from long ago remain helpful because all humans share the wish to feel strong, happy, and peaceful, no matter what life brings. The search for calm and self-control begins with a simple truth. Humans everywhere face big feelings, not just today, but always. Even in places and cultures very far from each other, people have wanted to understand their emotions and find peace inside. This wish is as old as people themselves. But what does it really look like to try and find answers? To see this, it helps to look back to ancient times, when life was different in many ways, but the need for calm and control was already strong. In the city of Rome, many years ago, there was a man named Marcus Aurelius. Rome was one of the most important cities in the world at that time. People from many lands came there to work, trade, and live. Rome had its own problems every day: fights, rules, leaders, and worries. The city was full of streets, markets, and homes. People had families and jobs. They made choices and mistakes, laughed, cried, and lived out their daily lives much like people do now. Marcus Aurelius became emperor in Rome, a very big role with many tasks and heavy responsibility. He was not born an emperor. He had to learn many things as he grew up. When he was a child, Marcus had teachers. These teachers spoke to him about right and wrong and about wisdom. As he got older, he watched leaders around him, saw how they handled problems, and learned from the secrets and troubles of running such a large city and, in time, an entire empire. Becoming emperor did not mean that Marcus never felt sad, hopeless, or afraid. In fact, once he was leader, his days became even more filled with stress and tough choices. Each morning before the sun was fully up, Marcus would wake, knowing that questions, requests, and news, good and bad, would soon arrive at his door. Every hour, people came to Marcus for guidance, help, or answers. Some wanted support for their families. Others asked for new laws. Soldiers needed his leadership. Friends and family wanted his love and attention. Each day brought fresh problems that needed his mind and heart. Even with all this power, Marcus Aurelius was still human. Sometimes he could not sleep at night. He worried about wars, about people who were sick, about the safety of Rome. When someone he trusted betrayed him, he felt disappointed. He sometimes became angry and wished things were different. Often, he felt the heavy weight of his duty and wondered if he could manage it all. One thing Marcus Aurelius knew was that feelings like these come to everyone, no matter how high their position. He wanted to find a way not only to control his own feelings, but to set an example for others around him. People were always watching him and copying what he did. If he became angry and shouted, others thought it was right to do the same. If he showed peace, patience, and kindness, people learned that this was possible too. At that time in Rome, there were many ideas about how to live a good life. Some people thought having money would make you happy. Others believed that pleasure, food, or power would bring peace. Marcus Aurelius tried some of these ways, but they did not help for long. He noticed that outside things, like money, food, or being famous, could not keep his heart peaceful for very long. Bad news or a new problem could always take that peace away. This led Marcus to look for better answers. He read old books, listened to wise men, and talked with friends who studied philosophy. Philosophy means the love of wisdom. People who study philosophy think about life, choices, and what makes people happy. They look for answers that last. One way of thinking slowly began to appeal to Marcus more than any other. It was called Stoicism. Stoicism started with a man named Zeno, who lived in the city of Athens even before Marcus was born. Zeno and his students said that happiness comes from inside, not from things outside. They believed that people should learn to accept what happens in life, focus on their own behavior, and try to respond to challenges with wisdom. For the Stoics, feelings were natural, but what mattered was how you dealt with them. What Marcus liked most about Stoic ideas was that they were simple and could be practiced by anyone. Stoicism did not require special tools, special birth, or being rich. Anyone in any place could try these ideas. In his private time, Marcus Aurelius wrote notes to himself. These notes were never meant to be shared with others. They were for him, to help him stay calm, fair, and wise. Each night, when he was alone, he would pick up a small piece of paper or wax tablet and write about his day. He asked himself hard questions. Did I do my best today? Did I become angry when I should have been calm? Did I help those I could, or did I forget someone in need? What did I learn from this day? Little by little, Marcus Aurelius wrote down ideas that became like guides for him. If he felt angry, he looked at his notes and remembered to be patient. If he felt weak, he reminded himself that every life has trials and he could face them too. If he felt jealous, he wrote about being grateful for what he had. As he practiced these Stoic ideas, Marcus Aurelius changed slowly over time. He became more patient with others. He learned to listen to his thoughts and decided not to be ruled by his emotions. He began to see that, in most situations, he could not control what happened outside of him, but he could control what happened inside of him. This new way of thinking made each day a chance to practice calm, even when problems were big. Marcus's family and friends saw changes too. Some were curious about why he seemed more peaceful. Others wanted to know how he could carry so much responsibility and not become cruel or hard. When people asked, Marcus explained that he was trying to follow ideas from Stoicism. He said that everyone, from the richest to the poorest, could learn from these ideas. The lessons he learned did not take away all his pain or worry. There were days of sadness, loss, and anger. Some days, even his Stoic ideas felt far away and hard to use, but he did not stop trying. He believed that learning to understand and handle your own emotions was a daily practice, not something learned in one day or one week. It was a journey. For Marcus Aurelius, another important lesson was humility. This means knowing you do not know everything and that you have more to learn. Although he was emperor, Marcus did not believe he was better than others. He knew that wisdom could come from anyone, no matter how small or unimportant they seemed. He listened to his servants, soldiers, and friends. He learned from children who spoke honestly, or from elders who had seen many years. Each person showed him a new way to look at life. Some nights, Marcus would think about how everyone in the city, rich or poor, young or old, busy or quiet, was just trying to find happiness and peace. He wished that everyone could learn to handle their feelings a little better, to be kinder to themselves and to others. He wanted a world where people helped each other more and judged less. Even now, the words and lessons from Marcus Aurelius's notes are read by millions of people around the world. They are known as the Meditations. In these writings, Marcus's voice is gentle, honest, and direct. He wrote as a friend to himself, but his words became a friend to everyone who read them later. The power of his writing was not in big, fancy language, but in its simple truth. Some of his favorite Stoic ideas became guiding rules. First, accept what you cannot change. Second, focus on your own actions and thoughts, because these are yours alone. Third, everything that happens is a chance to learn. Fourth, be kind to others, as you would wish them to be kind to you. Fifth, remember that every person has troubles, and judging them is not helpful. These Stoic lessons became a kind of map for Marcus Aurelius. This map did not show roads or buildings. It showed choices and responses to feelings. It reminded him which paths led to calm and which led to more anger or pain. Each time he practiced these lessons, even in small ways, they became a little easier, like walking a path every day until it is smooth and familiar. Other people at the time noticed his way of ruling. Some thought Marcus was too gentle, but others saw he was strong in a different way. He did not shout or punish quickly. Instead, he waited, thought, and then acted. If someone made a mistake, Marcus tried to see the whole story before deciding what was fair. If war threatened Rome, Marcus did everything possible to avoid hurting people who were not part of the conflict. He trusted kindness and patience more than quick anger. His approach did not make all problems disappear. There were still wars, sickness, losses, and struggles. Sometimes Marcus felt tired or afraid. When these feelings came, he remembered his notes. He became quiet, breathed, and asked himself how a wise person would respond. He did his best to act with balance and care. Each day was a new practice. Marcus Aurelius also learned that his own well-being was closely tied to the well-being of those around him. If his people suffered, he suffered too. If they found peace, he felt happier. This taught him that good leaders care for others, not just for themselves. Over time, people remembered Marcus as a ruler who tried to treat all with fairness. They did not remember only the wars he fought or the buildings he built, but also the way he tried to lead with calm and kindness. His memory became a story passed from parents to children, from teachers to students. His words, written in quiet moments, have helped many other people to face their own storms of emotion, even after many centuries. Even if you are not an emperor, you can use the lessons from Marcus Aurelius's life. Each day gives you new chances to accept what you cannot change, to choose your own actions, and to learn from what happens. You have the power to decide how you want to respond. You are not alone, because every human, even the strongest ones in history, has faced feelings of worry, anger, fear, and sadness. Reading about Marcus Aurelius's search for calm does not mean your life will suddenly become easy. But knowing that even someone with so much to do and to worry about could find peace little by little can give hope to everyone. Calm is not only for special people. It is for any person who wants to start the journey, take one step at a time, and practice patience with themselves. Ancient lessons are still alive today, spoken in homes, written in books, taught in schools, and passed from friend to friend. The wish to understand your feelings, the need for answers, and the hope for a more peaceful life are shared by you and by people everywhere, in every time. Learning from Marcus Aurelius and his experience with Stoicism prepares you to look closely at what Stoicism really teaches. The next steps are about understanding Stoicism as a way to live, a path anyone can follow to become calmer and stronger, no matter what happens in life. As you learn about these teachings, you will see that every day gives you new chances to use them, practice them, and grow from them. Each practice helps you meet your own strong feelings with wisdom, care, and strength, just as Marcus Aurelius did in ancient Rome, and just as people everywhere can do now. People often search for simple and useful ideas to help them feel calmer and stronger inside. These ideas can come from old books, from friends, or from people who have lived many years before us. Marcus Aurelius used Stoicism to help himself and those around him. He trusted these ancient lessons because he saw that they helped people feel more peaceful, no matter what happened outside in the world. Stoicism shows a gentle way to live when there are problems and when there are big feelings. To understand why Stoicism is so helpful, it is important to look at what this way of thinking teaches. Stoicism gives everyone a chance to see that their feelings are real and normal. It does not say that being sad, angry, or nervous is wrong. It does not say that strong feelings should be ignored or hidden. Instead, Stoicism accepts that every person will have hard days, and every person will sometimes feel many things at once. There is nothing wrong or broken in someone who feels worry, stress, or fear. The goal in Stoicism is not to leave all feelings behind, but to learn how to respond in better ways. This way of thinking believes that the mind and heart are always growing. Your mind is a place where you can make choices, create ideas, and find peace. It is not only what happens to you from the outside that matters. What you choose to do with your thought and with each moment is important. Some people think they cannot change their lives. Maybe they believe that strong feelings will last forever, or that the world is too hard. Stoicism says that everyone has some power inside. Even if the outside world feels heavy, the choices you make with your thoughts and actions are yours. One important lesson in Stoicism is to notice what you can control and what you cannot. Each day brings things you can choose and things you cannot choose. For example, you cannot control the weather, what other people do or say, or when the sun rises and sets. But you can choose how to answer when someone is angry. You can choose how much effort you put into your work, and you can choose when to take a breath and pause before saying something. Stoicism tells you to spend most of your attention on your own words, actions, and thoughts, because these belong only to you. When someone first hears these ideas, they might think it sounds easy, but it takes practice. Most people want to change things outside. They want to fix other people or complain about problems in the world. But when you practice Stoicism, you accept that outside things are not in your hands. You cannot make the rain stop, or make everyone like you, or make every problem go away. What you can do is decide how you will act right now, in this moment. This kind of thinking can bring a quiet feeling of safety. If a situation is not yours to control, you do not need to spend energy trying to change it. You can focus on your own small choices, how to talk, how to listen, how to be patient. Stoicism also teaches you to see every feeling as a message, not an enemy. Sadness, anger, worry, and fear all bring messages about what is happening inside and outside of you. If you try to push these feelings away or pretend they are not real, they become stronger. If you stop and take time to understand them, you can see what they are teaching you. For example, Sadness may tell you that you need comfort or that something is missing. Anger can show you that something feels unfair. Fear might be warning you about a danger. When you listen to your feelings, you can begin to answer them with wisdom, not just with reaction. This does not mean feelings control your life. Stoicism helps people notice feelings, name them, and then decide what to do. You may feel upset, but you do not have to shout. You may feel afraid, but you do not have to run away. The mind can learn to make space for feelings without letting them take over. Each time you pause and notice your thoughts before acting, you are practicing Stoic ideas. Being aware of your own thoughts is a big part of Stoic living. Many problems are made much bigger by thoughts that run wild. If you think, everything is terrible, or I can never do anything right, you can start to feel much worse. Stoicism offers another path. It teaches you to pause and check your thoughts before believing them. Are your thoughts true? Are they helpful? Are they coming from fear or from calm? Sometimes, after asking these questions, you see that your ideas are just worries, not facts. You can then let go of thoughts that do not help. It is also important to remember that Stoicism does not mean being cold or not caring about anything. Some people believe that if you are Stoic, you must not show feelings, or you must always be serious. But Stoicism is about balance. It teaches you to use your feelings as signals, but not as rulers of your life. You can care for others, be happy, laugh, and still be stoic. As long as you remember that you are in charge of your own words and actions, you can live with warmth and kindness. The power of Stoicism is that it can make daily life feel less heavy. Problems and difficulties will always be part of life. It is not realistic to hope for a life with only good days. Stoicism prepares people for days when things go wrong. It helps you to see that even when you cannot change the world, you can always choose your response. This choice is very powerful. It gives you a kind of freedom. No matter what happens, you still can guide your own actions and find calm. Many people find comfort when they learn that their feelings are not mistakes. They are not the only ones who feel stressed, anxious, or lost. Stoic teachers say that all people, through all time, share these same struggles. There is no shame in having strong feelings. There is only a challenge. What will you do with those feelings? Each day you have many moments to practice answering with care, using the teachings of Stoicism. Parents, teachers, and friends can use Stoic ideas when helping children or each other. For example, if a child gets upset, a parent might say, "It is normal to feel this way. Let us take a breath together and see what we can do." If a friend feels lost or angry, you can listen without judging. You can help by reminding them to look at what they can control and to be gentle with themselves. Sharing Stoic thinking is a gift you can bring to any relationship. One more lesson from Stoicism is about growth in difficult times. Every hard event or strong feeling is a chance to learn. When something happens that brings sadness or pain, it is normal to want the pain to go away quickly. But Stoicism teaches patience. You do not need to rush through feelings or force yourself to recover before you are ready. You can let yourself feel what is real and see what it can teach you. In time, you may look back and see how you got stronger or how you learned something new about yourself. It is also helpful to use reminders each day. Some people write short Stoic lessons on pieces of paper and keep them close. Others repeat quiet phrases in their minds. Things like, "Focus on what you can control," or "Feelings are not facts," or "This moment is enough." These reminders help guide you during busy or stressful moments. You can use these anytime, anywhere. Many people who practice Stoic ideas find that their worries become less big. Strong feelings still appear, but they do not last as long or cause as much pain. By practicing every day, you build the skill of calm. Calm is not something you have or do not have. It is something you practice and grow. Over the weeks and months, you notice that your first reaction to a problem is not panic, but a question. What can I do about this? This way of thinking gives more hope. Stoicism also values other people. It says that each person should try to treat others with respect and patience. Even if someone is rude or angry, you can choose to be kind or silent instead of reacting the same way. This does not mean letting people hurt you. It means you decide for yourself what actions are right. Your calm and peace do not belong to other people. They are yours to protect. Another part of Stoicism is about being grateful. When things are hard, it is easy to see only problems. Stoicism suggests looking for small, good things every day. Maybe you enjoyed a meal. Maybe you had a kind word with a friend or saw the sunlight in the morning. These simple moments help balance the mind. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it can make each day feel lighter. Every practice of Stoicism takes time. It is normal to forget sometimes or to react without thinking first. No one is perfect, not even the great teachers. If this happens, you can forgive yourself and start again. Each day is a new chance to try. By showing yourself patience, you also learn how to be patient with others. Stoicism is not about avoiding pain, but about facing it with courage. It helps you to say, yes, this is hard, but I will do my best. When you have a tough day or when life feels unfair, you can still trust your own choices. You can stop, breathe, and look for the next small step. Little by little, these small steps bring more balance to your life. Teaching Stoicism to others is not only for philosophers or teachers. Anyone can share these ideas with friends, family, and children. When people learn these lessons together, they create families and schools where everyone feels safer with their own feelings. People feel less alone because they see that no one is perfect and everyone is learning. Some people worry that if they practice Stoicism, they must become very serious or hide every emotion. The truth is that Stoicism makes room for joy, laughter, sadness, and rest. It simply asks you to make choices with care, even when feelings are strong. You do not need to stop being yourself. You can still share your true thoughts and needs. You are just learning new ways to meet your feelings with patience and understanding. At the end of each day, you may want to write down one moment when you practiced a Stoic idea. Maybe you did not react in anger. Maybe you helped someone even when you were sad. Maybe you forgave yourself for making a mistake. Over time, these moments build a new way of seeing the world. Life's problems do not go away, but you have more tools to meet them. Stoicism also says that it is normal to ask for help. If you are struggling, you can tell a friend, talk to someone you trust, or write about your feelings. You do not have to solve every problem alone. Sometimes just speaking your worries out loud is enough to make them lighter. You might also use Stoic ideas when something happens that you cannot change, like losing a job, facing sickness, or dealing with a sad event. It is normal to feel pain and loss. Stoicism helps you remember that you still have the power to choose your response. You still have moments each day where you can care for yourself or help others, even in small ways. When you meet people from other places or other times, you can see that they too faced hard things. Wars, sickness, changes, worries, and losses have always been with human beings. Stoicism gives one way to walk through these problems with dignity and care. As you use these teachings, you see that every part of life, good times and hard times, has something to offer. You are not weak for having problems. You are brave each time you face them with patience and honesty. Each day, you are given choices. You can try to control things outside of you, or you can take care of your own mind and your own actions. When you make calm and wise choices, you open a new path for yourself and those around you. You show that it is possible to live with strong feelings and still act with kindness and courage. Through all these practices, you begin to look differently at life's ups and downs. You accept both, and you use every event to learn more about yourself. This does not make you perfect, but it helps you feel more balanced, strong, and peaceful each day. These lessons from Stoicism are not just from the past. They are for everyone now, in every place. They are tools you can use in your daily life. When you feel lost or upset, you can return to these lessons and find a way forward. When you feel happy, you can share kindness with others. With each small step, you help build a life that is calmer, wiser, and more true to your own values. Understanding and practicing Stoic lessons every day can help people make better choices during hard moments. One of the most important ideas from Stoicism is learning to focus only on what you can control. Every person has things they wish they could change in life. People might wish to change the weather, another person's words, past mistakes, or problems in the world. Many times people spend a lot of time thinking about these things. But Stoicism teaches that there is another, better way. When you start each day, you can notice many things around you. Some things are under your control. For example, you can decide what words you will use. You can choose your actions. You can choose your attitude when something does not go as planned. But there are many things that are not under your control. The weather might be cold or rainy. A friend might be in a bad mood. You might hear some news that makes you sad or worried. You cannot change these things, but you can still decide how to respond to them. This idea of focusing only on what is in your control brings more peace to your life. If you worry about things you cannot change, it is easy to feel tired, upset, or hopeless. But when you put your energy only on your own actions and thoughts, life becomes lighter. You start to see that you still have choices, even when everything else is confusing or difficult. Imagine you have a plan for the day, but something unexpected happens. Maybe a meeting was cancelled or you cannot go outside like you wanted. The part that is not in your control is what happened. The part that is in your control is your response. You can decide to become angry or blame someone else, but you can also choose to accept the situation and look for a new plan. Every small decision in these moments builds your sense of calm and strength. Many people have spent years trying to change things that are out of their control. They might try very hard to make other people act differently or wish for the past to be different. But with time, they learn this only brings unhappiness. Stoicism shows that true peace comes from inside, not from controlling what is outside. Every day, you can ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is yes, you can do your best. If the answer is no, you can let it go and save your energy for things that really matter. This lesson can help you at home, at work, with family, or with friends. People will not always act as you hope. Sometimes a family member might get upset for reasons you do not understand. At work, a co-worker might not finish a project on time. Sometimes there are problems in the world that make you feel afraid or sad. In each of these moments, you can pause and ask, which part of this belongs to me? What can I choose right now? Often you find that you can choose only your own actions and how you think. Children can also learn to use this Stoic idea. If someone is mean to them at school or they do not get picked for a team, it is normal to feel sad or angry. But children can learn that they are not responsible for the actions of others. What matters is what they do next. They can choose to be kind, to speak with an adult, or to take care of their own feelings. Teaching this to children helps them grow up with more hope and less fear. You may ask, what if a problem is very big or very unfair? There are many situations in life that are serious and cannot be solved right away. Some things can hurt deeply and last a long time. In these moments, focusing on what is in your control does not end the pain, but it does help you find your center. You can always choose to ask for help, to rest, or to take one small step at a time. Even when you cannot change a problem, you can still decide what your next step will be. This Stoic principle can also change how you think about other people. It is easy to become frustrated when others do not do what you wish. You may want family or friends to listen better, work harder, or say things in a certain way. But you cannot make other people change. What you can do is to listen with patience, explain your feelings clearly, and be honest about your needs. You might find that letting go of the hope to change others brings more peace inside. When you accept people as they are, your relationships improve and you feel more relaxed. Focusing on what you can control also helps when events in the world seem difficult or scary. Many people watch the news and feel nervous about things happening far away. Sometimes this makes people feel helpless and small. Stoicism reminds you that the world is very big, but your power is found in your own choices. You do not need to fix every problem in the world all by yourself. If you want to help, you can choose small actions, like being kind to someone near you, helping in your local area, or learning something new. Every small action counts. You cannot do everything, but you can always do something. This practice brings more energy and hope to every day. You wake up knowing that your worth does not come from controlling the world. Your worth comes from how you use your time and your actions. If you make a mistake, you can forgive yourself and try again. If something goes wrong, you can decide your next step. Each new chance is a place to practice calm and control. People who use this Stoic lesson often say they feel less worried. They spend less time blaming themselves or others. They let go of old arguments and stop wishing for the past to be different. By focusing on the small circle of things they can control, their minds become quieter. They find that their energy grows because it is not wasted on things that cannot change. This lesson is useful at any age. Young people can use it when they feel lost about the future. Adults can use it when they are busy with work or facing family problems. Older people can use it when they think about changes that come with time. At every stage of life, learning to focus on your own choices brings new strength and calm. It is also good to remember that focusing on what you can control is not about ignoring real problems. There are many things in the world worth caring about. There are times to speak up, to help others, or to work for change. Stoicism does not say, do nothing. It says, do what you can and let go of what you cannot. When big problems come, you can ask yourself, what is my next wise action? This question can guide your steps without taking away your hope. Every day gives you new chances to practice this idea. It may help to write down the things that worry you. Then, beside each worry, ask if you can control it. If yes, you can think of a good action. If not, you can remind yourself to let it rest. Over time, this becomes a habit. When a problem arrives, your first thought is, where is my power in this? This helps you move from worry into action. Parents and teachers can help others learn this habit too. When a child gets upset because something is unfair, an adult can guide them to see which part they can change. If a friend is stressed about something at work, you can listen and gently ask, what part of this is yours to do? Sharing these questions is a way to share calm and clear thinking. This Stoic practice is also important in moments of sadness or disappointment. Sometimes life brings losses. A job ends, a friendship changes, or a loved one dies. These moments are among the hardest in life. Stoicism does not say you should not feel pain. It says you can always choose how to care for yourself and others in these hard times. You can feel deep sadness and still decide to rest, to talk with a friend, or to ask for comfort. Taking small good actions, even simple ones, helps you move through hard times. Learning to focus on what you can control does not happen overnight. Some days you will forget. Some problems will be so big that your feelings will feel heavy. That is normal. Stoicism teaches that practice and patience are needed. Each day you can begin again. With time, this way of thinking grows stronger and becomes a part of who you are. If you ever feel stuck or unsure, you can return to this question: can I control this? If the answer is no, you can remind yourself to let it go as best you can. If the answer is yes, you can think quietly about the best action you can take. Stoic teachers from many years ago shared stories about people who lived through hard times by using this lesson. They told about people who lost everything, but still found peace in their hearts by focusing on their own choices and actions. They said that true strength is quiet and steady. It comes from doing your best with what you have, instead of fighting the things you cannot change. You may find that this lesson brings new respect for yourself and others. When you stop trying to fix what is not yours, you have more time and care for what is. You start to listen more, judge less, and accept life as it comes. Each day feels lighter because you carry less burden from the past and less worry for the future. Focusing on what you can control also helps you handle stress. When many things feel too much, you can break a big problem into small parts. Ask, what is the one thing I can do right now? Even a tiny action, like cleaning your space, taking a walk, or making a call, can help you feel more steady. Step by step, your power grows. Sometimes you may worry that letting go of control means you do not care. But Stoicism is not about giving up. It is about working wisely with your own strength. It is about doing your best and then resting in the knowledge that you did what you could. This helps you sleep better, feel more gratitude, and enjoy the present moment. With this way of thinking, each day is a new chance to practice. You may choose to say something kind, to finish a small task, or to forgive someone. If mistakes happen, you do not have to be hard on yourself. You can learn, let go, and focus again on your next good action. As more people learn and use this Stoic lesson, it is possible that families, schools, and towns become more peaceful places. People stop blaming each other and start working together. They accept that everyone has problems, and everyone is learning how to handle what they can. This common understanding brings people closer. At work, you may become a person others trust. People know you will do your part, but will not spend time complaining about what cannot change. This builds respect and helps everyone feel calmer. In friendships, you can support each other by reminding each other about this lesson. If a friend feels angry about something outside their control, you can gently help them focus on what they can do next. This helps everyone grow stronger together. Even when life feels unpredictable or hard, you can always return to your own choices. Your words, your actions, your attitude, these belong to you. Each one is a tool to build more calm and peace. Every lesson from Stoicism is a path to being more balanced inside. When you focus only on what you can control, you let go of useless struggle and find real strength. This strength is quiet, but you feel it in your heart when you face the ups and downs of life. As you practice this each day, your mind becomes more clear. You use your energy on simple, healthy actions. With time, you notice that many things that once made you angry or upset no longer affect you as much. You are able to accept life as it is and use your power in good ways. Step by step, this practice brings more hope to you and to the people around you. You can handle what happens each day, knowing your true power is found in the choices you make. The lessons of Stoicism are not hard rules. They are gentle reminders that help you live with more peace each moment of each day. When you put your attention on what you can control, your actions and choices start to mean more. There is a special strength in accepting that some things are not in your power and then focusing your energy on the things you truly can change. But this idea from Stoicism goes even deeper. Beyond noticing what is or is not in your control, Stoics teach another simple lesson. You are always responsible for your own thoughts and your own actions. Sometimes life can feel unfair. Maybe someone says something unkind, or plans do not work out as you hoped. Maybe you try your best at work or at school, but do not receive praise or rewards. In moments like these, it can be easy to look for someone or something to blame. Many people think that if only others would behave differently, if only the world was not so hard, they would have a better life. But Stoic wisdom shows a different path. Rather than blaming outside things for your feelings or for your mood, you can turn your attention inward. This means looking at your own thoughts and your own actions first. This is not always easy. There may be times when you feel upset and it truly seems like someone else is at fault. But even if another person acts badly, you can only control yourself. You cannot make another person apologize or change right now. What you can decide every day is how to respond. You do not have to raise your voice when you are angry. You do not have to answer with unkind words. You can choose patience. You can choose to leave a room, or you can choose to listen. Your actions belong to you. Even in very hard moments, this is a kind of power. No matter what happens outside, you do not have to give away your control. This does not mean you let people treat you badly. It means you accept and remember that your behavior is always your choice. Stoicism shows us that taking responsibility for our thoughts and actions gives us freedom. At first, it might feel heavy because now you cannot blame everyone else for your experience. But this way of living is lighter in the end. When you make a mistake, you can admit it and grow. When you do something kind, you can be proud. When you do not like how a day went, you can think, how could I choose better next time? These questions are not about blame. They are about learning, about being curious and honest about your own life. This practice starts with noticing your thoughts. Sometimes thoughts come so quickly that you do not even hear them. You might think, I am not good enough, or people always let me down, or even, I cannot do anything right. These thoughts can make your day feel heavy and sad, and sometimes you might start to believe them. Stoicism teaches that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are like messages that show up in your mind, but you can choose which ones are worth listening to. When you feel upset, you can pause and look at what your mind is saying. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is this thought helpful? If the answer is no, you do not have to keep believing it. You can let it pass. You can choose another thought like, I did my best, or this is hard today, but I can try again. Each time you notice, question, and change a thought, you are practicing responsibility. You are taking control right where you have the most power. Taking responsibility for your actions also means not making excuses for mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It is a normal part of learning. But blaming others or finding reasons to explain away your actions does not help you grow. If you miss a deadline, you can say, I made a mistake. I will do better next time. If you say something unkind, you can apologize. Taking this kind of responsibility does not make you smaller. It helps you become stronger and more honest. Stoicism reminds you that it is good to notice what is happening in your own mind during the day. Some people make a short habit of checking in with their thoughts a few times. You might ask yourself, how am I feeling? What am I thinking about this situation? Am I being calm and fair? These questions are like gentle guides. They help you catch yourself when you start to become too negative or when you start to blame others for problems. When something out of your control happens, a flat tire, a rainy day, someone else's bad mood, it is normal to feel upset at first. The gift of Stoic thinking is that after the first moment, you have a choice about what comes next. Will you let this small problem change your whole day? Or will you decide how to act and what to think? If you practice stopping and asking, what can I do now? You often find a small choice waiting for you. This kind of responsibility is also important in relationships. In any friendship or family, there are moments of misunderstanding or stress. You cannot always keep other people from being angry, late, or rude. But you can practice answering with honesty and calm. Sometimes you can say, "I see that you're upset. I would like to talk about this when we are both calm." Or, "I need a moment to myself right now." These choices are small, but they grow over time. People see that you are being fair and strong. At work or school, this practice can make your days smoother. When something goes wrong, look at your part first. Did you forget something? Did you speak without thinking? There is no need for shame, just for honesty. If you are truly not at fault, you can still focus on what you will do next. If there is a problem to solve, you can take the first step, even if it is small. Stoicism gives space for forgiving yourself too. Sometimes, after a bad day, you might lie awake and replay mistakes in your mind. But holding on to guilt and blame does not keep you safe. It only makes tomorrow harder. You can learn from what happened and then let it go. Tell yourself, "I did what I could with what I knew then." This allows your mind to rest. Some people find it helpful to write a little each day about their thoughts and actions. You do not need to write long stories. Even a few words can help. You might write, "Today I became upset when I was tired," or "I was patient in a hard meeting." By looking at your actions and thoughts in writing, you become more aware of your habits. This grows your power to change what you wish. It is also important to remember that everyone is learning. No one always has the right reaction on the first try. There will be days when you react too fast or say something you regret. The important thing is not to give up. Each time you take responsibility, even after making a mistake, you make your character stronger. Children can learn this practice too. If a child makes a mess, blaming a brother or sister does not solve anything. But if the child learns to say, "I spilled the juice, I will clean it up," that child starts to feel strong inside. Adults can help by modeling this behavior and with words like, "It is okay to make a mistake, but it is better to be honest about it." This kind of responsibility also brings more respect from others. People notice when you admit mistakes and when you stay calm during problems. They see that you do not waste time blaming others or hiding behind excuses. They feel safer with you and want to work with you. Another lesson in Stoicism is about not letting your mood control all your actions. This does not mean hiding your feelings or pretending to be fine when you are not. It means noticing when your feelings are trying to run the show and carefully choosing your next step. For example, if you wake up feeling angry or tired, you can notice it and still choose to speak kindly. If you are worried, you can admit it to yourself, but you do not have to let worry stop you from trying new things. With practice, you might find that your first reaction is not always your final choice. Sometimes you may want to snap at someone, but if you pause, you can decide to wait and speak calmly instead. Stoicism is about making enough space between feeling and action so that your choices are wise and true to your values. All of these steps, pausing, noticing, choosing, and speaking carefully, come together and help you become more steady. You are not thrown from one mood to another so much. You do not feel helpless when life brings stress. You remember, "My actions are mine, and no one else can choose them for me." When it comes to solving problems, taking responsibility is often the first action. If there is a conflict, you can ask, "What did I do? What can I do differently next time?" If many people use this way of thinking, teams, families, and groups become stronger. People trust each other more, and small problems do not grow into big ones. This practice is gentle. It is not about being hard on yourself or expecting yourself to be perfect. It is about being honest enough to see where you have choices, and kind enough to forgive yourself when you fall short. Over time, this honest and gentle way helps create a peaceful home inside yourself. There are ways to remind yourself about this lesson. Some people leave notes for themselves that say, "I am responsible for my choices." Others repeat quiet phrases such as, "My actions are in my power." When a hard situation shows up, They use these reminders to come back to steady thinking. In some situations, it is tempting to blame things that happened long ago, or to say, "I am this way because of what happened to me." It is true that pain or unfair events can affect you deeply. But Stoicism says that today, in each new moment, you can still choose your response. You are not only the result of your past, you are also the maker of your future through your present choices. Even when you feel small or tired, your actions still matter. If you choose to help someone, to listen, or to rest, each of these is a valuable choice. You can be proud of these small steps because they shape your life. Sometimes you may see people who always blame others when they are upset. This way of thinking can create a lot of pain and broken trust. When blame is the first answer, people stop working together and no one feels safe. But when one person starts to take gentle responsibility, it becomes easier for others to do the same. This is how stronger families, friendships, and teams begin. As you grow in this practice, you can notice times when you move quickly from feeling upset to taking a helpful action. You might find it easier to apologize, or to comfort someone, or just to stay quiet until you know what to say. You may lose interest in arguing because you see that doing your part is already enough. The lesson from Stoicism about responsibility is deeply connected to the lesson about focusing on what you can control. These two ideas help each other. When you give up trying to manage other people, you have more energy to manage yourself. When you choose your actions and own your thoughts, the world feels less frightening, and you become more confident and hopeful about your future. As you walk through your days, there will still be challenges. You may face moments that hurt, or times when everything feels confusing. In those moments, the practice is the same. Notice your thoughts. Pause before reacting. Choose your action gently and wisely. If you make a mistake, forgive yourself and try again. People everywhere want to feel respected, seen, and safe. When you practice responsibility for your thoughts and actions, you begin to create these feelings for yourself and for those around you. The home you build in your heart with these gentle steps is stronger and kinder day by day. These lessons are not only for people who already feel strong, they are for everyone. People who are scared, people who feel lost, people who want to change, and people who want to grow. No matter your age or story, you can pause, notice your thoughts, and make a new choice. Each time you practice, you become more steady and more free. As you keep using Stoic principles, you will start to notice your thoughts more and more. You will also discover that many hard feelings grow or shrink depending on what you think inside your mind. When you are careful and honest with your thoughts, you can act with peace even when life is difficult. This daily practice helps you become more of your true self, steady and strong in every step. Becoming more careful and honest with your thoughts is a very important part of feeling calm and in control. Every day, people have many thoughts in their minds. Some thoughts are true and help you feel better. Other thoughts are not true or are only worries or fears. If you do not look closely at your own thoughts, you might start to believe things that are not helping you. When you pay attention and watch your thoughts, you can learn to see the difference. This is a very helpful lesson from Stoicism. Your thoughts can change how you feel. For example, if you think, "I am not good enough," you might feel sad. If you think, "Everything is going wrong," you will feel stress and worry. If you do not stop and look at your thoughts, these ideas can grow bigger and affect your actions. You may start to act in ways you do not want, just because of what you are thinking inside. By stopping to notice your thoughts, you hold the key to changing your feelings and your actions. Watching your thoughts is a skill. It needs practice, just like other important skills in life. At first, you might forget to notice your thoughts, or you might think that all your thoughts are true. That is normal. But if you try, even a little bit each day, you can get better at it. When a strong feeling comes, stop and ask yourself, What am I thinking right now? Is this thought helping me, or is it only making me more upset? Many times, strong feelings begin when you believe in a thought without checking if it is real. Maybe you are worried about the future, and your mind tells you things will never get better. Or maybe you make a small mistake and think, I always fail. If you let these thoughts stay, your feelings will become heavier, and you will feel less able to do anything. Stoicism teaches that you do not need to believe every thought that comes into your mind. One useful thing you can do is to write down your thoughts when you feel upset. Take a moment and write exactly what you are thinking. Then look at your words. Ask, is this thought really true? Is there proof? Many times you will see that a thought is only a feeling and not a fact. For example, you may think, nobody likes me, but when you stop and look, you remember that many people care about you. The thought was not real. You can let it go. When you begin to watch your thoughts like this, you see that some are helpful and others are not. You can keep the helpful thoughts and let the others go. Helpful thoughts are usually kind, honest, or help you see things clearly. Unhelpful thoughts are usually full of worry, anger, fear, or blame. The more you practice, the easier it is to notice which is which. If you find it hard to stop and write, you can also try talking to someone you trust. When you say your thoughts out loud, you can hear if they make sense or not. Sometimes hearing your own words can help you notice if you are only worrying or if there is really a problem that you can do something about. It is normal to have negative or angry thoughts sometimes. Everyone does. You should not feel bad or weak for having these thoughts. The point of Stoicism is not to make every thought perfect or always happy. The point is to notice what is happening in your mind and to make a choice about what you want to believe and what you want to do next. When you start to look at your thoughts, you may find that some of them are the same thoughts again and again. Maybe you worry about work or about your family. Maybe you always think you are not good enough. These thoughts become habits. But just because a thought is familiar does not mean it is true. Sometimes these old thoughts come from things that happened a long time ago. Stoicism teaches that you always have a choice about what to do with your thoughts now, even if you used to believe them before. Each day, try to spend a little time paying close attention to what is happening in your mind. You can do this when you wake up in the morning, before you do something important, or before you go to bed. Ask yourself, what have I been thinking about today? Are my thoughts helping me, or are they making things harder? This gentle question helps you feel more calm and gives you power to change what you want to change. There is another helpful lesson from Stoicism for noticing your thoughts. Do not fight your thoughts or try to force them to go away. If you try very hard not to think something, sometimes the thought will become stronger. Stoicism suggests you watch thoughts like you watch clouds moving in the sky. You see them, you notice them, but you do not have to do anything with them unless you choose. Some thoughts will pass quickly if you leave them alone. When you feel a very strong emotion, like anger or worry, your thoughts may move very fast. You may speak or act before you have a chance to look at what you are really thinking. It is helpful to pause, take a breath, and slow down for a moment. You can say to yourself, I am feeling a strong feeling. What am I thinking right now? This pause can help you choose what to do or say next. Many problems come from not noticing thoughts before acting. It can be hard to pause and watch your thoughts if you are in the middle of a problem or if many things are happening at once. Sometimes you may not have time to stop and write or talk. In those moments, you can still take a slow breath and quietly ask, is this thought helping me or is it making things worse? Over time, this question becomes easier to ask, even in difficult moments. This way of thinking does not mean you need to ignore important problems. Sometimes, your thoughts are warning you about something real that needs your attention. For example, you might notice the thought, I feel tired and need rest, or I made a mistake and I want to say sorry. These are helpful thoughts. Stoicism teaches you to listen to these good messages and act on them. The difference is to learn which thoughts are true and useful, and which are just worries, fear, or old habits. Some people find it useful to make a list of common thoughts they have. You can write 2 columns on a page. In one column, you write the thoughts that often make you upset. In the other column, try to write a more helpful or true thought for each one. For example, if you write, "I cannot do anything right," you can answer with, "Sometimes I make mistakes, but I have done many things well." When you practice this, your mind begins to learn new ways to think. It is also helpful to share your thoughts with someone you trust. Sometimes just telling another person what is on your mind helps you feel less alone and more calm. Other people can help you see if a thought is true or not. They can remind you of times when you have been strong or kind, even if you do not see it yourself. The practice of watching your thoughts can help in many places. At work, if a project fails, your mind might start to say, "This is all my fault," or "They will be angry with me." If you pause and check these thoughts, you may see that you did your best, or that other people are not as upset as you think. At home, if there is a conflict, your mind may say, "They do not care about me." But if you notice your thought, you can remember that everyone has difficult days, and maybe it is not about you. Teaching this skill to children can help them feel stronger and more hopeful. Kids often believe every thought that comes into their minds. When a child learns to ask, "Is that really true?" or "Am I just worried?" they begin to feel more power in choosing what to do. Adults can help by modeling this practice and being gentle when talking about thoughts and feelings. Over time, noticing your thoughts becomes a natural habit. You will catch yourself feeling upset or worried and will remember to pause and look at your mind. Each time you do this, you are practicing a kind of mental self-care. You are taking the time to respect your feelings, but also to choose for yourself how to respond. You do not have to be perfect at this. There will still be days when your thoughts move fast, or when you forget to notice them. That is part of being human. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to make good choices. You will find that your mind feels lighter, and you have more space for joy, rest, and patience. Noticing your thoughts is not about always thinking happy thoughts. Life is sometimes difficult, and honest thoughts are important. But Stoicism helps you tell the difference between a sad thought that helps you understand your feelings and a sad thought that only makes you feel worse. The first can lead you to new actions, support, or change. The second is just a habit and can be let go. Sometimes, when many things go wrong, your mind feels full of loud and fast thoughts. At these times, it can help to take a short walk, sit quietly, or breathe very slowly. Simple actions like these can help your mind calm down enough so you can watch your thoughts more clearly. Nature, silence, or gentle music can also work. When you see your thoughts more clearly, you can also see solutions to problems that you might miss if you only listen to your fears. Often, after pausing and noticing, you are able to make a small plan or to ask for help. This step-by-step thinking is part of what Stoicism offers. In relationships, noticing your own thoughts helps you avoid saying things you do not mean or making quick judgments. For example, if you think, "They do not care," you can check for real proof before saying something hurtful. Many disagreements become smaller or go away when you notice your thoughts and choose your next words carefully. If you are facing a big change, like moving, losing a job, or dealing with illness, your mind may be very busy with strong thoughts. You can help yourself during these times by slowing down, watching your mind, and choosing which thoughts to keep and which to let go. You can remind yourself, "This is a hard time, but I can choose which thoughts to trust." Every person has some thoughts that come back again and again, especially during hard times. Stoicism does not say these will disappear forever. It teaches that you do not have to fight with your mind. You can be gentle, you can listen, and you can make new choices every day. With each small step of noticing and changing your thoughts, you make room inside for more peace and for better actions. Or you become more able to wait before reacting. You give yourself space to choose patience or kindness, even when feelings are strong. As you keep practicing, you may want to help others learn this skill. Sharing what you have learned about watching your thoughts can support friends, family, and children in your life. Sometimes all a person needs is a gentle reminder that not every thought is true and that change is possible. Learning to pay attention to your thoughts is a way to give yourself respect and care. It is a daily practice that grows stronger over time. On good days and bad days, this habit helps you see yourself honestly and choose what kind of action to take. No matter what happens outside of you, no matter how busy or difficult life becomes, you always have the power to notice your own mind. Each day, you can check your thoughts, pause when you need to, and act in a way that makes your life and the lives of those around you a little better. By paying attention to your thoughts, you are not just reacting to life. You are choosing your path step by step with care and with patience. This practice from Stoicism is one of the strongest ways to grow in strength and calm. Each new moment brings another chance to watch your thoughts, make wise choices, and move forward with hope, even on the hardest days. When you pay close attention to your thoughts, you begin to notice patterns in how you react to the world around you. This way of seeing your mind helps you make wiser decisions and brings more calm into your everyday life. But even when you try to think carefully and make good choices, there will be times when life feels very hard. Sometimes troubles come when you do not expect. You may lose something important, have an argument, become sick, or have a plan fail. These moments bring difficult feelings like sadness, anger, fear, or disappointment. Even if you practice Stoicism, you cannot escape all pain. Still, there is something important you can do with these hard moments. One thing Stoicism teaches is that every problem or strong emotion holds a lesson. When something difficult happens, it is normal to wish for it to go away quickly. You might want to avoid the feelings or hope that someone else will fix everything, but Stoicism shows another possible way. Instead of running away from pain, you can stop and gently ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple question can open a new path. Each trouble or uncomfortable emotion can become a teacher if you are willing to listen. Many people think that when something goes wrong, it means they are unlucky or not good enough. They might think, "This should not happen to me," or "I cannot believe this is my life." These thoughts are understandable because everyone wants life to be easy and full of happiness. But Stoicism explains that all people, no matter who they are or where they live, will face sadness, loss, and challenge. No one is outside of life's difficulties. Understanding this helps you feel less alone. It also gives you respect for your own journey and for the journeys of others. When a problem appears, it can feel heavy or confusing. You may not see what lesson is hiding inside at first. That is why Stoics teach the importance of patience. You do not have to figure out everything right away. You do not need to force yourself to feel calm if you are hurting. Instead, you allow the feeling to be there and slowly look for what can be learned from it. Sometimes the lesson is about being patient. Sometimes the lesson is about asking for help. Sometimes the lesson is about saying no, or about letting go of something you cannot control. For example, if you work hard and still do not get the result you want, this can bring frustration or sadness. The lesson hidden here might be about effort and not giving up. Or if you lose a friend or face a big change, sadness and fear can come. The lesson might be to look inside and discover things about yourself that you did not know before. These lessons grow your character and help you be ready for the next hard thing that comes. A life with only easy days does not teach as much as a life where you are sometimes challenged and stretched. It is common to feel like giving up when problems are big. Maybe you say to yourself, "What is the use?" or nothing will ever change. These thoughts are normal, but Stoicism asks you to pause before believing them fully. Instead of turning away from pain, you turn toward it with curiosity and care. You ask, how can I use this hard time to grow stronger? Little by little, you may find that even in a storm, you are learning important things about patience, courage, and caring for yourself. The lesson of finding growth in difficulty is also about accepting that some things cannot be changed, some losses will never return, and some situations cannot be fixed. This is a painful truth, but it can set you free. When you learn to accept what cannot change, your mind becomes quieter. You stop spending energy fighting what is true. Instead, you place your attention on what you can do next. Maybe you can reach out to someone, make a small change, or simply rest until you are stronger. Every little action after acceptance is a way forward. Stoicism teaches that suffering can soften your heart rather than harden it. When you notice your own pain and ask what it can teach you, you become more understanding toward other people. You see that everyone has battles, even if they do not talk about them. If you use your own struggles as a way to grow, you might also be able to help others when they are hurting. A kind word or just listening can be a great support. Sometimes when a problem is very difficult, it is hard to find any lesson right away. It may take days, weeks, or even years to see clearly. This is normal. It is not a race. What matters is that you do not give up on the idea of learning and growing. You keep your heart open to new understandings, even if they come slowly. With time, you may look back and see that your hardest days taught you the most about yourself. Difficult emotions can also be teachers. When you feel strong anger, for example, the lesson might be to look for what is unfair or hurt in your life. When you feel fear, the lesson might be to notice what you care about most. Even jealousy or disappointment can show you what you value or what you want to pay more attention to in the future. By being honest about these feelings, you learn to use them as tools for growth, not as things to feel ashamed about. Accepting pain does not mean you have to like it. You can wish things were different and still look for growth inside the hard experience. What Stoicism asks is to try to turn even a little part of your pain into something useful. Maybe you become more patient or more kind to yourself. Maybe you understand your friends or family better. Maybe you find new strength that you did not know you had before. If you try to avoid or hide hard feelings, they usually come back even stronger. Stoicism teaches that each feeling, no matter how painful, is a normal part of life. Allowing yourself to feel what is real, without blaming yourself or others, is the first step toward learning and healing. By facing your feelings honestly, you give yourself a chance to let go of old pain and to try new ways of living. It is helpful to ask simple questions during a tough time. What is really happening here? What is this teaching me about what I need? Is there any small step I can take today to care for myself or someone else? These questions bring you back to the present moment and stop your mind from running into worry or anger. Making space for these questions helps you grow, moment by moment. Difficult moments are also good times to remember things you have already learned. When you look back, you may see that you have already survived many hard days. Maybe you found strength you did not expect, or patience you never knew you had. These memories can be used to help you trust yourself as new challenges arrive. Sometimes you may find that a hard experience changes your values or what is important in your life. Maybe you feel different about relationships, your job, or your dreams after going through pain. This can be confusing at first, but it is also a sign of growth. Stoicism teaches that it is good to check in with yourself and see if your values are changing. If they are, you have a chance to live in a way that is more true to who you are. Hard times can also show you the importance of asking for help. Sometimes growth means letting other people support you, or speaking honestly about your pain. Stoicism does not say you have to be alone with your troubles. It is wise and brave to reach out to others. You may find that sharing your pain helps you feel lighter and brings new ideas for handling your situation. When you are in a hard moment, it helps to take very small steps. You do not need to solve every problem right away. Maybe your first step is just to get out of bed, to take a shower, or to call a friend. These steps can seem very small, but they are seeds for bigger changes in the future. With each small good action, you are practicing resilience, even before you fully understand what you are learning. With time and practice, you will notice that your response to trouble changes. Maybe you do not become as angry or hopeless as before. Maybe you find it easier to see good things, even in the middle of pain. Stoicism says that everyone changes and grows, even if the steps are small and slow. Growth in difficulty can also help with forgiving yourself and others. When something goes wrong, it is easy to blame yourself forever. Stoic teachers remind you that mistakes are a part of every life. If you learn something true from a mistake, then it becomes a part of your growth, not a chain to hold you back. You can be gentle with your own heart and remember that learning often comes from things that do not go as planned. You may want to keep a simple record of your growth during hard times. This could be a notebook where you write things you have learned after a challenge, or a space where you list ways you have become stronger. These notes will encourage you on days when you feel down. Remembering your own growth helps you keep hope alive. Hard times are also moments to pay attention to how you talk to yourself. When things go wrong, it is easy to say, "I cannot do this," or "this is not fair." Stoicism suggests trying kinder words like, "This is very difficult, but I will take it one step at a time." Or, "I have been through hard things before, and I grew from them." How you talk to yourself shapes how you see the world and helps you keep learning and growing. If you find it difficult to see any lesson in your pain, do not be discouraged. Many times the lesson comes much later, after the hardest feelings have passed. Compassion for yourself is also a form of growth. It is enough to simply be gentle while you wait for new understanding. It is important to know that you do not need to go through hard times alone. Even when you are practicing Stoic ideas, you can lean on friends, family, or helpers. Sharing your pain is not weakness. It is a wise way to make space for growth and comfort. As you continue to practice facing challenges with patience and curiosity, you also build hope. You learn that no hard feeling lasts forever, and that new chances for growth arrive every day. Your heart becomes open not only to your own pain, but also to the pain of others. This makes you a better friend, family member, or neighbor. The lessons from Stoicism prepare you to look for meaning inside every part of life, both the happy parts and the painful ones. Each hard moment is a teacher, waiting to help you become stronger and more understanding. By accepting and using these lessons, you find a gentle, steady hope that carries you forward. Every step taken during hard times is a chance for new growth. Each lesson learned, each feeling faced, and each moment of patience is a way to build wisdom for the rest of your life. This is how Stoicism helps turn difficulty into strength and sadness into understanding. Growth and learning through challenge are never finished. Life will keep bringing new tests, and you can meet each one with what you have learned so far. In time, this way of living helps you keep calm, deepen your understanding, and move forward, steady and open, no matter what the next day brings. Learning from hard moments makes you stronger and helps you to keep calm during new problems. Even when life gives you challenges, you can still practice good habits that help you feel more peaceful. One lesson from Stoicism that is very important is the practice of self-control and patience before you react to anything. When you learn this, your days become easier. You avoid many fights and troubles. You also feel more proud of your actions and your words because you are choosing them through calm and care, not just through fast emotions. Every person, no matter their age, sometimes speaks or acts too quickly. Maybe you feel angry when someone is rude, or upset when something does not go your way. In these times, it is very easy to say words that you do not mean or do something you later wish you had not done. After these actions, regret often comes. You might feel sorry or wish you could take back what you did. The Stoics knew that these quick reactions almost always make problems bigger. To avoid creating pain for yourself and others, Stoicism teaches you to pause. The pause can be very short, only a few seconds, or sometimes longer, like a few deep breaths. During this pause, let yourself feel the emotion, but do not let the emotion control your next action. Tell yourself, I am feeling something big, but I will wait before I answer. This simple habit changes your life in many ways. Taking a step back before you react is not about hiding your feelings or pretending that you do not care. Your feelings are always important. What really matters is how you respond with those feelings. If you are angry, you do not need to shout. If you are sad, you do not need to break things or push people away. When you give yourself a moment, you can act in a way that is calm, wise, and true to your values. Sometimes, people think that they must respond to situations right away. They feel pressure to answer quickly when someone asks a question, sends a message, or does something hurtful. But you always have the right to wait. You can say, I need a moment to think, or simply stay quiet for a short while. This small choice gives you time. You can check your thoughts, notice your feelings, and decide what is the best next step. This is a gentle form of self-care. This habit becomes even more important when you face big emotions. When you are afraid, very angry, or deeply hurt, your mind may tell you to act quickly. It is easy to blame someone, shout, or do something just to make the feeling stop. But if you take even one slow breath, you open space for a new way to respond. Many times, this small pause is enough to change what happens next. You can practice self-control and patience in many simple ways. Each morning, think about what usually makes you react quickly. Maybe it is traffic, a loud noise, or someone being late. Imagine these moments in advance and make a promise to yourself to pause when they happen. During the day, if you notice your body starting to feel tense or your heart beating faster, remember to pause. Count to 10 if that helps, or take 3 deep breaths. These are small actions, but they are very powerful. Another easy way to grow patience is to listen more than you speak. When someone else is upset, let them finish talking before you answer. While you listen, pay attention to your own feelings inside, but wait before saying your own opinion. Sometimes, after listening, you will see the problem in a new way. Sometimes the other person only wanted to feel heard. This waiting can heal many conflicts before they grow. It is also helpful to remember times when you did not pause and later felt bad about it. Do not judge yourself harshly. Every person makes these mistakes. Instead, use the memory as a gentle reminder to try again. Think of the times when you paused and things turned out better. With time, you will notice that your confidence and respect for yourself increases. Self-control does not always mean staying silent. Sometimes it means choosing a gentle but clear answer. If someone says something that hurts you, your first feeling might be to attack with words. But after your pause, you might choose to say, "That hurt my feelings," or "I see things in a different way." This way, you respect your own feelings while also respecting the other person. Many people worry that if they do not react quickly, they will lose respect or look weak. But in truth, most people feel calmer and safer with someone who responds slowly and with thought. Others learn they can trust your words and actions because you take time to choose them. This makes relationships stronger and brings more peace to every group, families, friendships, and work teams. Children benefit from learning about patience and self-control too. When a child is upset and wants to scream or hit, a parent can gently guide them to stop and breathe. You can say, "Let us take 3 breaths together before we talk about what happened." This simple teaching gives children a tool they can use their whole lives. As they grow, it becomes easier for them to handle anger, sadness, or worry. Self-control is also important in the things you do alone. Maybe you want to quit something because it is hard or because you are tired. If you pause before deciding, you may find new energy to try again. Or maybe you want to eat or spend just to feel better. Pausing lets you ask, "Is this what I really want? Or am I only trying to make a feeling go away?" In this way, patience helps you make decisions that are good for you in the long term. You will not always get this right. There will be times when you react too fast, even after years of practice. This is normal and human. When it happens, forgive yourself, learn from it, and try again next time. With each try, the pause becomes more natural and stronger. Sometimes patience means waiting for big things in life. You might want an answer, a result, or a change right now, but it is not possible. In these moments, patience helps you to take things one step at a time. Stoicism teaches that you can focus on what is happening right now and not rush too far ahead. Each day, do what you can and let the rest unfold in its own time. When you practice self-control and patience, your days feel smoother. Problems do not grow as quickly. You notice more small, good moments because you are not always rushing to the next thing. You also feel less tired inside because you do not waste energy on quick fights or regrets. This practice makes you more understanding with others. When you take time to notice your own feelings, you remember that everyone else is learning too. Others also have days when they react too quickly. When you see this, it is easier to forgive small mistakes and to offer help instead of anger. Some people like to use small reminders to help with self-control. You can wear a bracelet, draw a small mark on your hand, or keep a stone in your pocket. Each time you see or feel the reminder, think, "Pause and breathe," or "Wait before reacting." These little tricks help your practice stay strong, especially on busy days. It is also helpful to talk with someone you trust about your efforts to be more patient. You can share stories, encourage each other, and laugh about moments when things did not go as planned. Working together makes the practice feel lighter and more fun. Self-control and patience do not mean you never show strong feelings. Being honest about what you feel is part of being healthy. What Stoicism teaches is to notice and accept your feelings, then choose how you want to act. This action is true control, not from pushing feelings away, but from making careful choices after feelings appear. Often, there are things you cannot change, but you can always decide what you will do next. Waiting before acting is not just about stopping mistakes. It is about giving yourself the power to make decisions that match who you want to be. You can be proud of yourself each time you do this. As you practice more, you might notice that your reactions are changing. Maybe you smile instead of shouting, or you walk away for a moment instead of arguing. Perhaps you write your feelings down before talking about them. All these actions help keep peace in your life. If you want to get better at self-control, you can make a small plan each day. Each morning, choose one thing you will practice waiting for, or one feeling you want to handle with more care. At the end of the day, think about how it went. Did you pause? How did it feel? What could you do next time? Gradually, these simple tasks will build big changes in your habits. Teaching these skills to children and young people supports them their whole lives. When they learn how to pause and wait before reacting, they become more thoughtful adults. They are better friends, students, and future parents. Even in times of stress, they remember that they can always pause and choose their next step. Self-control and patience are also important during happy times. When you feel great excitement, you may want to act quickly or make promises without thinking. Even in happiness, a pause can help you think, is this what I really want to say or do? This keeps your promises and actions steady. Sometimes, waiting is hard because you do not know what will happen. Maybe you are waiting for news or a decision. In these times, use the waiting time gently. Take care of yourself, do things that help you feel calm, and remember that you are strong enough to handle what comes. Use the pause as a way to rest, not just as something to get through. Practicing patience and self-control brings respect from others, but also builds respect for yourself. You know that you are making careful choices and taking care of your feelings. This grows trust inside yourself. When life is hard, you remember that you have handled challenges before and will do so again. As you grow in these habits, you set an example for those around you. Family, friends, and co-workers may notice your calm and thoughtful way. They might begin to copy it, bringing more peace to everyone's life. You become not only stronger for yourself, but also a light for your community. Self-control does not keep you from making mistakes forever. It helps you recover more quickly when mistakes happen. You can say sorry, fix what went wrong, and move forward with care. This habit makes problems smaller and forgiveness easier, both for yourself and others. If you find yourself struggling to pause or feeling impatient, be gentle with yourself. Everyone has busy days and small failures. Remember that even a little progress matters. Each time you pause, even for one breath, you are practicing something important. You can also remind yourself of all that you have already learned by being patient. Think of all the times you waited and things worked out. Think of how often your calm response helped others feel better. Each small success is like a step on a path towards a more peaceful life. Practicing self-control and patience every day is not a chore, but a gift you give yourself. The peace that grows from each pause makes it easier to handle whatever life brings. You are more ready for change, disappointment, or sudden joy. Your heart becomes open, your mind stays steady, and your relationships are stronger. With all these small habits, you build a way of living that brings you more calm, kindness, and strength. You become a person who can handle ups and downs without losing your sense of balance. Those around you feel safer with you, and you feel safer with yourself. The path of Stoicism includes this steady effort each day. Every pause, every breath, every kind and patient answer adds to the peace in your life. These moments help you go forward with hope and with trust in your own choices. Each lesson you practice builds a better future, inside you and all around you. A peaceful life, strengthened by patience and self-control, can still be shaken by difficult moments or sad news. Even if you feel prepared to pause and speak kindly, some days may be heavy or confusing. When these moments come, another lesson from Stoicism can support you. The practice of gratitude and gentle acceptance for all of life's ups and downs. This lesson helps you find light when the world feels dark. Many people think about what they do not have or what has gone wrong. Their minds often return to worries, losses, mistakes, or fears about the future. They may ask, "Why are my days filled with stress?" Or, "Why did this bad thing happen to me?" It is easy for the mind to hold on to pain and forget small good things. Gratitude, even for the smallest gifts, is a way to break this loop and bring more hope. Stoicism teaches that no matter what is happening, there is always something to notice and appreciate. Gratitude does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It also does not mean that you have to be happy about pain. It means noticing what is real and good, even in hard times, and letting yourself remember these things often. You might say thank you in your mind for a warm meal, a quiet moment, a friend's smile, or the feeling of sunshine on your skin. These moments, though simple, are treasures for the heart. To make gratitude part of your life, you can create small daily habits. Some people keep a notebook by their bed and write 3 things each night that made them feel calm or glad that day. Others whisper thanks when they wake up or during a peaceful walk. Even saying the words thank you out loud helps your mind see positive things. Over days and weeks, your eyes become sharper at finding good moments, even on hard days. When you are suffering or afraid, gratitude can be a gentle helper. If you are worried about a problem, try to also see what has gone well. Maybe you are struggling with work, but you feel healthy. Maybe your plans change, but you still have friends to talk with. This practice helps the mind feel less heavy. It does not erase difficulties, but it makes them easier to carry. Gentle acceptance is the partner of gratitude. Acceptance means understanding that life will always change. There will be days full of laughter and days with tears. People will come and go. You will have times of health and times of pain. The world will always move between joy and loss, gain and letting go. Stoicism teaches not to fight these changes, but to meet them with an open heart. When sadness, stress, or loss comes, you do not have to say these are good things. But fighting against reality will not bring peace. You may say, I wish this had not happened, or this is not fair, and these feelings are true and honest. Still, if you slowly accept, this is where I am right now, your heart can rest. In this acceptance, you still care and try, but you no longer waste strength pushing against what cannot change. Sometimes gentle acceptance means letting go of dreams or plans. Maybe you wished for a job that did not happen, or hoped a friendship would last forever, but it ended. Maybe you faced sickness when you hoped always to be strong. You may feel angry or sad, but after some time, acceptance can come. You tell yourself, this is sad, but it is part of life. With this quiet agreement, you allow yourself to heal. This lesson also includes not blaming yourself or others for every trouble. Stoicism teaches that some things in life are caused by fate or the natural way of the world. Not everything has a clear reason, and not every problem has someone to blame. Letting go of blame gives your heart more room for peace. Children can also learn these ideas. They can practice saying thank you before a meal or remembering a happy part of their day. When a child is upset about a loss, an adult can gently say, "It is okay to be sad, and I am with you." Some things we cannot change, but we can notice what is good today. These small steps help children become stronger and more hopeful in their own lives. At work, gratitude and acceptance help you keep going, even when tasks are boring or mistakes happen. If someone else gets praise and you do not, you can feel disappointed. But you can also thank yourself for your effort and remember good things, like a nice conversation or feeling proud about what you finished. Acceptance helps you see that no job is perfect and no day is free of small problems. When family life is difficult and there are arguments or changes, practicing gratitude reminds everyone to see each other's kindness and care. Acceptance helps all family members understand that people sometimes make mistakes, but love and support are still possible. Saying thank you to each other, even for chores or a meal, creates more warmth in the home. Pain and loss are a part of every human life. Sometimes grief feels like it will last forever. In these times, gratitude may seem impossible. But even then, you can look for one small brightness. Many people after a loss remember kind words, support from others, or memories that bring bittersweet happiness. Over time, these memories and small acts of gratitude help people heal. You can support your practice of gratitude by surrounding yourself with reminders. Put notes in your kitchen or on your door that say, "Remember one good thing today," or keep a small object, like a stone or picture, to help you remember to say thank you for what is right now. Each reminder is a small step back to hope when days are hard. Gentle acceptance is not giving up. It is saying, "I will do my best with what I have." You continue to care, to act with kindness, and to find good moments. Acceptance allows you to try new things, make fresh plans, and open your heart again, even after disappointment or sadness. With this habit, life becomes less frightening and more open to joy. Gratitude is very helpful when you face problems that are out of your control. Maybe the weather changes your plans. Maybe a friend moves away. Maybe you did not reach a goal you wanted. In these moments, Stoicism invites you to say, "I did my best, and I am thankful for the chance to try." Look for a lesson or a gift in each change. Sometimes one door closing means another connection or joy is near. Practicing gratitude also helps you with patience. It is easier to wait and feel okay if you see small good things happening around you. During tough days, you might say, "This is hard, but I am thankful for my warm bed," or "I am grateful that I can call a friend." These words are simple, but they bring the mind back from worry into the present. Some people make gratitude part of their family or community. Before a meal, everyone shares something good. At work, a team can finish the week by remembering what went well. In schools, teachers and students can celebrate both big and small successes. These customs make everyone feel more connected and strong. Gentle acceptance can also help people forgive. When you accept that everyone is learning and making mistakes, it is easier to let go of old hurts. This does not mean you forget pain, but it lets your heart move forward. Forgiveness is another gift you can give yourself with gratitude and acceptance. There are times when gratitude feels very far away. Illness, sadness, anger, or loss can fill your thoughts. You do not have to force yourself to feel thankful when you are in pain. Some days, your only task may be to sit with your feelings and wait for lighter moments. Acceptance can help you stay gentle with yourself in these times. If you wish to build stronger gratitude, you can make a daily practice. Each evening, write or say aloud 3 things you are grateful for. They might be as small as a favorite song, a quiet moment, or a meal. This habit does not remove trouble, but it gives your mind a new place to rest. Over time, you will notice that you begin to look for good things without even trying. Stoicism also teaches that life will bring both happy and sad moments, often close together. When you practice gratitude, your mind prepares for this. You welcome good times but are not surprised by hard days. Acceptance helps you move from one feeling to another without losing yourself. Children can also be taught that bad days do not last forever and that they have survived hard things before. Adults can remind children of joyful times after sadness or strength they found during a challenge. This helps children see growth and hope even when life is not easy. Sometimes gratitude leads people to help others. When you notice your own good fortune, you may want to share kindness. Giving time, attention, or help to someone else creates more gratitude for both you and the other person. Small acts of service connect you more deeply with the world and make even hard days feel more meaningful. If you have trouble remembering good things, you can ask a friend or family member to share theirs with you. Listen to their stories of hope, and you may find your own heart grows lighter. Talking about gratitude with others is a powerful way to spread hope and brighten dark days. When you accept that life is always changing, you start to worry less about what might happen next. This calm acceptance means you use your energy to enjoy the present moment and to face challenges gently. Even when you do not know what tomorrow brings, you can live fully today. Acceptance reminds you that times of difficulty are not punishments. They are part of being human. Ups and downs come to everyone, even people you admire. When you accept this, you stop judging yourself so harshly and begin to love yourself as you are. Practicing gratitude and acceptance every day also helps you heal from past hurt. When pain or regret comes into your mind, remember a small thing you are thankful for right now. This brings your attention back to the present, away from old sadness. With time, Even memories that hurt can become softer, mixed with gentle gratitude for what you learned or shared. Forgiving yourself is also part of this lesson. If you made mistakes, you can thank yourself for being honest, for trying, or for learning something new. Acceptance lets you give up judgment and instead welcome a fresh start every day. This self-kindness is one of the strongest gifts of Stoic practice. When you keep these lessons close, your mind becomes more open, your days more gentle, and your heart more peaceful. Gratitude and acceptance cannot stop trouble from coming, but they can help you see beauty, hope, and new chances even on the hardest days. These habits are simple, but they guide you through life's changes, keeping your spirit strong and your days filled with small, real joys. Everyday life is always full of changes, challenges, big events, and quiet moments. Even if you try to remember gratitude, practice patience, and accept the ups and downs, you might still feel lost sometimes. This is normal. It is part of being human. What matters is how you use the lessons from Stoicism in your daily actions. Each day brings new chances to practice what you have learned. Stoic principles are not only for people in the past or great thinkers. They are for real lives, real problems, and real people today. In the world now, you may face many kinds of stress. There is much information and news from many places. Life can be very busy. You might have many things to do, from work to family to friends. Sometimes it can feel like there is not enough time in the day. There are moments when you feel joy, and other moments when you feel tired, angry, or sad. Stoic ideas can help you in all those moments. To use Stoic principles in daily life, you do not need to be perfect. You do not need to know every rule or remember every lesson exactly. What matters is making a choice, again and again, to use these ideas when you can. You can start small. When you wake up, take a breath and notice how you feel. Try to be honest with yourself. If you are tired, sad, or worried, say it to yourself. If you feel calm or happy, enjoy that too. Attention to yourself is the first step to using these principles every day. You can also make small plans for yourself. Choose one Stoic idea to use during your day. Maybe you decide, today I will notice my thoughts and see if they are true before I act. Or, today I will try to focus only on what I can control. You can write this idea on a piece of paper, on your phone, or just remember it in your mind. This gentle reminder will help you return to your goal during the day if things feel hard or stressful. Stoicism works when you practice it in real situations. If you are in a busy place and someone is rude, you can choose to pause and breathe. If your plans change and you feel upset, you can remember to accept what has happened and look for something good in the new plan. If you make a mistake, you can take responsibility for your actions without being cruel to yourself. These small actions can make your days and your relationships better. Many people find it helpful to write a journal or keep notes about their Stoic journey. At the end of each day, write one moment when you used a Stoic idea. It does not need to be a big thing. Maybe you waited instead of reacting, forgave someone, or said thank you for a small gift. Writing these things down helps you remember progress and see growth over time. You can use Stoic ideas in many parts of your life. At work, you often have to do tasks, talk to people, and meet deadlines. Sometimes there is praise, other times there is criticism. You might feel nervous about making mistakes or about what others think. You can use Stoicism by focusing on your effort and your actions, not on things outside of your control. If someone says something not kind, you can remember that their words belong to them, not to you. If a problem comes, ask, what can I do right now that is in my control? In family life, there are many feelings and many people with different needs. Children, parents, and siblings can all have tough days. You may have to help others even when you are tired yourself. You can use patience, honest communication, and gratitude at home. You can respect your own needs and also try to listen to others without fast judgment. If there is an argument, it helps to stop and wait until everyone is calm before trying to solve the problem. Friendships are also a place to use Stoic teachings. If a friend makes a mistake or forgets something, you can choose understanding and patience. If you feel left out, you can notice the feeling, but remember not to take all thoughts as true. You can share your feelings honestly and also listen when your friend needs help. Stoic ideas can help you keep your heart open, even when things are difficult. Modern life has many demands, and sometimes it feels like there is not enough time to use these ideas. You can practice Stoicism in small moments. Waiting in line, taking a shower, sitting by yourself, or walking outside are good times to pause, breathe, and remind yourself of a Stoic lesson. With practice, these moments grow, and calm becomes part of your life. Using Stoic ideas does not mean you have to be very serious or never enjoy fun. You can laugh, play, and celebrate. These joys are also important. Stoicism asks you to accept these good moments and be present with them, just as you are present in sad times. It tells you not to chase pleasure in a way that you forget your values, but to enjoy what is good right now. Sometimes you may feel like giving up because you forget to use what you learned. This is normal. Life is full of busy days and surprises. What matters is that you start again, each new moment. One mistake or one hard day does not erase all your progress. Stoicism is a path, not a finish line. You can give patience to yourself and step toward your goal little by little. You can share Stoic ideas with others. Talk about what helps you when you feel troubled. Teach children to pause before acting, to say thank you, and to accept their feelings. You can encourage friends to write their own thoughts or to try noticing what is in their control. In a group or family, these lessons can help everyone feel less alone, even when life is hard. Meditation can also support Stoic practice. You do not have to sit for a long time. Even a few minutes of calm breathing helps your mind. You can use this time to notice your thoughts, remind yourself of what you can control, or just rest. Some people like to add quiet music, a candle, or gentle stretches. Others meditate by walking slowly or spending time in nature. The important thing is to find a way that feels right to you. When bad news or big changes come, remember to use what you have learned. Ask yourself, is this in my control? How can I answer with patience? What am I grateful for even now? These questions help keep your mind steady, even in a storm. Sometimes you may need to ask for help from family, friends, or a professional. That is also a wise choice. Stoic ideas do not mean doing everything alone. Building habits is not always fast. It may take many days or weeks before a new idea feels easy. You can help yourself by setting small goals. For example, decide to practice patience with one person for a week or to write 10 grateful moments in your notebook before bed. Celebrate each step. Every day you try is a victory. You might also notice that some people do not understand Stoic ideas. They may think you are ignoring problems or pushing away your feelings. If someone asks, you can explain that Stoicism is about facing life fully, not hiding. It means being honest, caring about truth, and making wise choices in hard times. Everyone has a different path, and sometimes it takes time for ideas to make sense. Stoicism also helps with big life events. When something important happens, like a graduation, a birth, or a big change, you can use Stoic ideas to stay calm and open. Even celebrations can bring mixed feelings. You may feel excited, but also nervous about what comes next. Use patience and gratitude to enjoy what is good, and kindness for yourself as things change. As you practice, you may see changes in others around you. When you are calm, other people also feel more calm. When you forgive yourself and others, more kindness grows. These small waves of peace help create families, workplaces, and communities where people support each other. Modern problems can feel heavier because of technology and fast news. Social media, messages, and information always ask for attention. You can use Stoic lessons with your phone or computer too. If something online makes you upset, pause and ask, is this true? Is this in my control? Spending time offline or with real friends also helps your mind stay balanced. You can combine old and new ideas to keep Stoicism alive. Make your own reminders. Write favorite quotes from teachers like Marcus Aurelius and put them where you see them. Draw simple signs. Use apps or alarms to ask yourself how you are feeling. Every new tool can help you remember what matters most. If you wish, you can make Stoic ideas part of your group or family routine. Once a week, share moments when someone was patient or strong. Make a gratitude wall, where everyone writes what they are thankful for. Celebrate small changes, like a calm talk after an argument, or a patient wait on a busy day. You do not need to be an expert. The most important part is to keep trying. If you feel lost, remember that every great change starts with one small step. One calm breath, one honest word, one kind act. These build a life that is steady and good. When you look back, you will see how much you have grown. You do not need to hide hard feelings. Stoicism teaches you to notice, accept, and use emotions gently. When you feel upset, it is okay to rest or talk with someone. You can share your learning and support others as they face hard days too. Life will always bring surprises. Good days and bad days both come and go. Stoic ideas give you tools for every moment. Tools to use your energy well, to be kind, to learn from mistakes, and to focus on what you can choose. Even when you feel weak or confused, you always have a way forward. With time, you may find that your daily life is not perfect, but it is more peaceful. You see your own thoughts and feelings more clearly. You react more slowly. You feel grateful for small things and patient with yourself and others. Problems still come, but you have strong habits to help you through them. As you share what you learn with others, calm grows beyond you. Families, friends, and even strangers can learn from your example. Day by day, these small choices shape a world that is more hopeful and brave. Stoicism is not only for old times or for special people. It is for everyone, in every place, right now. Each person who practices brings more kindness and strength to the world. Every lesson about patience, control, gratitude, seeing your thoughts, accepting ups and downs, and acting with care helps you build a good and peaceful life. As you move forward, remember that you never need to do everything perfectly. Your progress comes from practice, from honest effort, and from starting again each day. You can return to any Stoic lesson whenever you need it. These ideas are tools to help you, not rules to judge yourself by. Let your days be full of calm choices, gentle acceptance, thoughtful words, and small moments of gratitude. Let each breath remind you that you are strong enough to face all that life brings. Through practice, patience, and a caring heart, you give yourself and others the gift of real peace.